So we get a lot of comments, why do you focus on the national media jabroni haircuts? Like why? Because who cares if they hate on the Vikings? Let us fly underneath the radar. We'll take people by surprise. But it matters in the essence that a lot of fans around the league, casual fans, non-fans of the Vikings, fans of other teams, they get all of their information from these sources, the national media jabroni haircuts. So everyone around the world just hates on the Vikings just because of the bias-ass media. And, I mean, I have an issue with it, right? Because I obviously want people to love my team, or at least I want it to be objective. Wait, no. Yeah, objective as opposed to subjective. It's almost like I have to think about what empathy or apathy means. They're two completely different things. Doesn't matter. So, I just want down the middle, call balls and strikes. When the Vikings are good, say they're good. When they're bad, say they're bad. But the narratives that have built up against the Vikings over the decades, the lovable losers, everyone associated with the Vikings, they downgrade. Whether it's Kirk Cousins, whether it's Justin friggin' Jefferson, who still doesn't get the time of day as being the best wide receiver in the National Football League, even though he should. Also the greatest catch of all time. Don't care. But so case in point, People's Exhibit C or whatever we're on. So Dan Hanzus, the Zeuser, around the NFL, great podcast. He does his power rankings every single week. Now, we've had issue. We've had issue with where he ranks the Vikings. Now, Hanzus is a Jets fan, so maybe that plays into it. The dumbest rivalry in sports history, Vikings versus the Jets. Who knows? But Week 11, you would think, okay, so the Vikings miracle win at Buffalo. By the way, Hanzus is a Jets fan, so you would think that he would give just the Vikings a little bit extra juice for beating his division rival of his favorite team. I don't know. And then, of course, the Eagles lost at home against Taylor Heineke and the Commanders, but okay. But apparently that's not the case, because apparently in this America, hey, you can lose at home in prime time to an inferior opponent, and Taylor Heineke, God love him, maybe he's not an NFL quarterback, I don't know, but you can stay at 1. Just amazing, man. So the Eagles remain at 1. This is what he wrote. The Eagles were overdue for a bad game, which is a fair classification of Monday night's 32-21 stumble. Oh, they were overdue for a bad game. Oh, it's a stumble. Oh, you say. Philly's first loss season included 4 turnovers and a crushing late hit penalty against Brandon Graham, which was deserved, by the way. You can't hit a quarterback when he's on the ground. Just stupid, sloppy play. However, unsatisfying the call might have been. Unsatisfying to who? Like, those are literally the rules. And they broke them, and they got penalized. I mean, what's wrong with that? The Eagles lost because they couldn't keep the Commanders' offense off the field. Washington ran 34 more plays and blah, 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 blah. Guess what? I mean, the Eagles' run defense is in tatters. Jordan Davis being out certainly hurts, but they've given up 5 straight 124-yard rushing games, and it doesn't get any better because you got Jonathan Taylor Thomas coming up. Woo! That's right, man. But, hey, the Eagles get to stay at 1. Cool. But even though the Texans last Thursday, I mean, they exposed Philly. They were tied at halftime. Philly pulled away late, but they showed with Damon Pierce that you can run the ball on Philly, and you can keep that high-flying offense off the field, and that's what teams are going to do. I mean, Philly, this is obviously optimistic by me. I mean, Philly might end up 10-7. I said what I said. Don't care. Do not care at all. But apparently, you get to stay at 1. Like, I can't wait until Philly loses against Indy and loses against the Packers, and then loses the week after, and then they're suddenly 8-4, and then is like, they're still 1. Whatever. Chiefs at 2. I get it. I mean, Mahomes and company, sure, but congratulations for beating Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. Good job. The Vikings at 3. So, I mean, it's nice that they're top 3. A little bit insulting it took this long. They were number 7 last week, but this is what he wrote. No matter how the season turns out, the Vikings and the fans will always cherish what happened on Sunday in Buffalo. Oh, so the Vikings have already won their Super Bowl. Everything else is just like, gold star, little fella, please. Down 17 points late in the third quarter, Minnesota mounted a furious comeback behind stand-up performances from their most important players. Money throws from Kirk Cousins, mind-exploding catches from Justin Jefferson, game-changer run by Dalvin, and glorious ball hawking from Patrick Peterson, blah, 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 blah. It was a type of signature win against Super Bowl favorite that gives the Vikings legitimacy beyond their stellar win-loss record. Oh, that's what it did. It finally gives the Vikings some legitimacy, because it's really hard to win a game in this league, and they just got lucky. They just got lucky against the Lions. Maybe that's true. They got lucky against the Saints at double dunk. They got lucky that Justin Fields didn't realize he was good, even though the Bears are 1-6 in the last 7 games, even though Justin Fields has blown up fantasy league. They got lucky by playing against Skylar Thompson, then Teddy, and no Tua, who's playing at MVP level. They got lucky that the Cardinals are decided to implode early in the season as opposed to late, like they usually do. And then they're lucky to come back against the Commies. Cool. Congratulations. Oh, but this win. I mean, it's a backhanded way. It was like, oh, yeah, the Bills are still really good. Okay, I mean, sure. I mean, the Bills are, but the Dolphins jumping up. Bills only fall down 3 spots. Okay, sure. I mean, as a Jets fan, having the Dolphins 4 and the Bills 5, I mean, come on. I understand as like a member of the media, you have to try and be objective, but sure. I mean, Cowboys dropped 4 spots. I mean, the Cowboys shouldn't have been at 4 in the first place. The Jets at 10. His Jets. How far the Packers rise up? Actually, the Giants at being 7-2 and being at 13. No, I mean, I get that it seems like they're winning games with duct tape and baling wire, just holding things together. But Saquon is legit. I don't know if I believe in Daniel Jones, even though he had a very clean and efficient game Sunday against the Texans. Sure, whatever. So the Packers. The Packers are up 6 spots, even though the win is much more about Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys being ass. Thank you versus the Packers. Hey, congratulations and good job of being 4-6. 2 more wins, little fella, and guess what? You're 500. Whatever. Just whatever. Redonkulous. So I mean, well, first off, the Vikings shouldn't have been as low as 7. And now it's like, oh, you get in the top 3, little fella. And guess what? Oh, the Eagles still stay at 1. How many losses is it going to take? Because, I mean, what happens if and when the Vikings beat the Cowboys, who, again, Hanzus loves so much. I mean, they're up at 4. So, so the Vikings beat the Cowboys, sure. But the Eagles lose to Jeff Saturday and the Colts one time. What's going to happen? Say the Chiefs stumble again. What's going to happen? But again, I know the comments. Who cares what the national media thinks? But when it is just so obvious, the bias against the Vikings, every single time, it becomes a pattern, and people just get used to it. I mean, if you tell a lie often enough, it becomes a truth, and we have to be the wall against that. Like, we have to be the bulwarks and the stalwarts of actual truth of what's going on with the Vikings. So that's why we're here. You want us on this wall. You need us on that wall. You damn right I did. Or something like that. Yeah, whatever the line is from. What is it? A Few Good Men? No, that's not the movie. The one with Jack Nicklaus and Tom Cruise. Doesn't matter. So, someone will let us know in the comment section below. But our thoughts, your thoughts, our thoughts, everyone's thoughts. Disgrace. Shambles. This used to be a proper country. Actually, the media coverage of the Vikings, it was never good. Whatever. Anyways, Skull, production value.